You know, I've always been intentional as I've gone through my last few. I don't even know if I want to. They're technically career paths, but I haven't made it what the definition used to be of like 30-year career. Right? I've been a musician, did that for a good handful plus years. Worked retail while I was in college. Got to be in the Navy. Learn how to be a corpsman. Learn medical skills. And even now, as I am and as I was trying to work through my PA, physician's assistant prereqs, I find myself in a very similar headspace that I've been at before. And so now the new question is, if I'm being honest with myself, it's like, is it the right road? And that's what I've been wondering. And because things have changed now that I've been home for 12 months, right? Priorities have changed. Perspective and angles have changed. New things are coming up. And so, I'll ask you, have you ever gone so far down a path where at least it's the right path, maybe it's the best one that you wanted, and hopefully you had a choice in that. Because I'd say 9 times out of 10 we have a choice of what the next thing's going to do, what it's going to be. And so, have you ever then gotten to a point where it's like, either what am I doing, or is this still where I want to go? What's up, everyone? Welcome to a new episode of Moving with Life. What this podcast has modulated into, I'll say, is trying to be intentional, and it's not always an existential thought. It's not always but it's not always superficial either. And right now, you're literally catching me in the middle of my thoughts that I've been literally going. I wouldn't say I'm going in circles, but definitely going somewhere. And eventually, I will have to make a decision. You catching me here hopefully will bring some type of awareness. I don't want to say to give you assurance, but bring awareness that mindsets change, people change, ideas change. And so it's still up to you to make that next decision, that next definite decision of where you're going next. So as I said in the little intro, I was a musician for 6 years, got to travel all over Texas, play with some awesome people, a lot of people that are still my friends to this day. Worked retail when I was in college. That helped me, I would say, really develop not only a business mindset for the sake of my business degree, but I learned how to work with others, I guess is the way to say it, is work with others, yes, but I learned how, for the sake of the metaphor, I learned how a machine functioned in the case of retail, right? Then, so jumping forward to, I was a musician for 6 years. Then I said, okay, I think joining the military is the next step for me. And I had primary goals. I trained for those goals. They didn't happen. But one of the options that was there was to become a hospital corpsman. And I said, okay, cool, sign me up. We'll send it. I know I want to go down this route of the military for sure. So I went through my training, and I have some stuff about my training and hopefully some relevancy that I'll talk about another day. But being in the Navy, being a corpsman specifically, because obviously the Navy, you think of blue side and you think of ships and water. And that wasn't my experience, and maybe I should figure out a way to incorporate that story later. But my point of this is, and there's a lot of people out there right now that we still communicate. We still, even if we don't talk every day, we talk very often as much as possible. But there's this little core group that I've stayed in contact with now, even now that I've been out. And it's only been a year. It's not like it's been crazy. But the corpsman piece of it itself, working in a hospital, learning trauma, learning medicine in general, led me to think, or at least want to start pursuing, again, PA school. As I said in the intro, there's been some themes, some ideas that have been the same, where it's like the people are the most important thing, but no matter what I've done, it's like, or at least the people are what the other people are what affect you in the job, right? But also, you have to have something to aim for. You have to have in the military term, you can use it. You have to have the mission, and again, I'm trying to bring myself out of using that terminology, because for me, it's about life. It's a life thing, because I've done this a couple of times now. As I'm going through school now and getting myself back into that rhythm and mindset, I find myself antagonizing the idea, and some of it's because I have a degree already, and now that I've been out for 12 months of not doing medicine at all, actually practicing medicine, I now have a family. I now have people that I want to take care of. It's not like, oh, I have, like, no. I going back to kind of the statement that moving with life is becoming and is making conscious decisions and sending it 100%, and not having no doubt and adjusting as needed, right? But as I've gone through this semester specifically, there's been a different weight, and again, it's nothing that can't be resolved at some point. As I've been home, it's like I'd rather do these other things, and can I make that happen with the knowledge I already have? Because RGVLS just happened. That was fun, and if you follow me on social media, there's been some tags that I have on like my profile and whatever of how that's gone, and that wasn't even the anchor of. It's been changing over time as I've done more and more things for the sake of the term, becoming a family man, and really enjoying it. It's literally my favorite thing to do. Every day, whether it's homework or an animal or hey, can you go pick this up? Can you do this? Can you run to the grocery store? It's like, absolutely. And a lot of it, I attest you to being gone for the 6 years that I was gone. Yes, come home to visit, so on and so forth. But even when I was a musician, it was kind of the same thing. Yes, I lived here, but I wasn't home. It's not like I was home all the time. And even then, I was trying to manage a part-time job while I was doing the musician thing, so I can have supplementary income. So again, this new development, it's like, okay, but I have this knowledge. How can't I use that to then allow me to have the schedule and be with my family the way I want to be? And again, at some point, even to me, because I thought about it, it's like I wondered if this episode would sound very selfish in a sense, because it's about me and what I want to do so that I can be with my family. But nonetheless, when I go do the things now, baseball starting, it's fun, and I enjoy that very much. Even yesterday was Wednesday, where it's like, I just want to do this as much as possible. I know I have to work. I know I have to figure that out. But it's so secondary to the things that I find myself really enjoying and wanting to do as much of as possible. So here I am, working through my prereqs, thinking and looking forward to finishing my prereqs so that I can apply for PA school, become a PA. That'll be my job. I'll be able to provide for my family. But again, I think now that I've been home for 12 months and really able to find myself not settling down, but definitely settling into a capacity and a seat that I want to be in. And the classes I'm taking right now, they're difficult for me, and some of it's because of the way the style is now, but also not much has changed since like I'm an undergrad. As far as the way the college and universities are teaching, it's the same style, it's the same thing. It's like, oh my, it's like I can't believe nothing's changed in the 11 years that I've been out of doing my undergrad. Yeah, around there. And so now it's like, do I want to change directions? And some days it seems easier than others, and then I'll have those harder days of school where I'm like, I don't want to have this lingering worry behind my in the back of my head, but also I have the GI Bill. I don't want it to just sit there. I can't. I guess in some sense where I prefer not to be wasteful. I don't feel completely wasteful, but it's like it's there. I should use it. That's the thought, anyways, as far as my GI Bill. And so again, so now it's like, do I pivot? I don't know what the answer is yet. I know what things are going to happen soon. I know that my decision has different impacts that are good and bad, or bad, good, good and bad. And I started school, but it's like, I've already invested some time, so shouldn't I keep going? Especially, for the sake of it, again, being honest, especially if I have to retake a class or two because I didn't get the better grade. I didn't get the B or the A that I prefer to have or need to have so I can be competitive when I apply to the upper level school. And so that element is not, and my work, whatever I've done for work, I've never wanted it to be, in the sense, I'm trying to word this correctly, but I never wanted it to be, and I never used it to say, this is who I am. Like, this is me. It's like, it's a part of me, and I enjoyed being a musician, being a student when I was full-time, when I was doing that in my college years, being a corpsman. It's like, yes, I did those things, and I've learned a lot, and there was a different purpose and thought processes when I was active duty. But now my purpose is being present, if I'm being honest. And so I'm trying to be as transparent as I can, because it's okay to change your mind if you truly feel like the direction you're heading is not where you want to go. Maybe it could be the logical one. You could be stoic, like, no, this is the way things need to be. And I'll argue, and I've said this many a times to younger folks and older people, where it's like, and when I was in college, I changed my degree 5 times. I think I've even talked about that on the podcast before in the past. And even when I was talking to a buddy recently about some of this stuff, and he's like, I just changed my degree for my second or third time. I forgot what it was, but he's like, I just changed it again. And this is him just he's trying to complete his undergrad for now. And I say, yeah, I've literally been in this boat. I feel like I'm on this boat again. For me, it's becoming a part where it's like, the credential, it would be nice to have, and obviously there's a lot of financial benefit to that too. But is it the right direction to go, even with that? Finance and looking to provide, it's one thing. Yeah, it's super important. But now the thought process itself of, should I go this way or that way? If you felt like that, then if you've been in a situation, or you find yourself in this situation now, where again, that direction that you're in right now, whether it's school or you're in the military, or you're chasing this goal, again, career, financial goals, whatever that looks like, go for it. And like I've said, the theme for me lately has been, just send it, just go, just do it all, and do it all 100%. And if you ever find yourself wondering for the sake of it, just remember that those around you are looking at you. And what I mean by that is what kind of person you are, your integrity, can I count on you? Because at the end of the day, and even now, my friends who, whether they text me or send me funny memes or call me up or congratulate me on something, it's because we built a relationship, and that's one of the most important things I've done in the past 10 years. Because even my friends that are not military or weren't in the military, they're my friends now that I'm back. Not that they ever weren't, but I'm saying for the sake of that, I'm back home and I'm rekindling some of these friendships. But it's because there's a base there, there's a foundation there. And so if you find yourself in this situation where you're not sure or you don't know what the next move should be, an idea that came up was for the sake of job title, write it down. If there's a job title that you want, and if you feel the same about it tomorrow, then you keep pursuing it. If there's something you'd rather be doing, I guess that'd be the dichotomy. Is if there's something you'd rather be doing that's not job or career directed, then write that. Because I know, again, something that I'm developing for myself is the simple fact that this is what I want to do as much as possible. And I like being available whenever my family needs me. Job, money, finance, career. How can all these things, how can I match up and build these things over here that allow me to do this over here? And so, as we close today, my point of today's episode, and as I was developing this outline, is the matter of fact that I don't have it all figured out. Even as old as I am, especially for my buddies that will probably watch this and, they think I'm like 55 years old. And they're like, yeah, but you are. And it's like, I don't have it figured out. I know the things that are the most important to me. I know that there must be a way to solve this situation. I'm not there yet. I have to make that choice soon. But nonetheless, let your purpose, let everything around you supplement whatever purpose you want to serve. Whatever you feel like your purpose in life is. How can you put the puzzles together? How can you make the puzzle itself so that purpose stays right in the middle? And so, if you feel like you're carrying your way, and there's some days where I feel better than others because it's like, there will be some impact in my household from this, so I don't take it lightly. But part of growing up, even for me, and that next little step of adulthood is to do it and send it and be 100% bought in. So, if there's ever been a time where you found yourself struggling with making a decision, let me know in the comments. If you're new here, thanks for joining. Thanks for making it to this part of the episode. As we close out, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment. Maybe comment something you got out of this, or comment how if there's been incongruencies for you, you can comment how it's affected you and what you did to solve that situation. So Don't forget, your title actually only goes so far. Also, you have the ability to figure it out. So until next time, keep moving with life.